You choose for your first feature film a topic about rape, or more precisely the challenges that the person faces after she got raped. So it's quite a courageous topic to do for first feature films. There aren't so many films about rape like you did it. Why do you think is that the case?
You mean why I did it as my first feature?
And why other directors are not so courageous and don't do it?
Well, I don't know about the other directors. You have to ask them. But for me, it was not hard to choose because I did it because I have many friends and people around me who's been experiencing like a same sort of stories as in my movie, and I thought I just, when I do film, it's some sort of communication with the people and with the world, so I just don't want to talk about nothing. I want to talk about something what I think is important, and I still think it's one of the last taboo definitely in my country and maybe all around Europe. Like everybody is talking about everything, but rape is something what people don't like to talk about. So I was like, yeah, let's just open it and see what happens.
And do you have the feeling that you already that you have opened it already? How were the reactions in your country?
Well, it was a little bit crazy. Good thing was that we had a lot of people who went to see my movie. It was almost 50,000 people. So that was pretty nice. I didn't expect that because, it's pretty much considered as an art movie. So art house is not very popular in my country. But it did a lot of people. And then there was a lot of reviews which were sometimes very conflicting. Like, for example, there was this one review people just started to talk about and review the review, and this guy was writing about my movie, and I'm okay with criticism, but he was asking these weird questions like, so Tereza Nvotová is trying to tell us that we should feel guilty because we have penises and stuff like that, and that Slovak cinema is over-feminized, which is totally ridiculous, So that's how it started, and people started to react on that. And of course, Slovak cinema is not over-feminized because we are like 6 women directors like throughout the history of Slovak cinema. So that would be pretty successful if we can do it. Yeah. So it sort of opened up discussion about rape and women, and also there's been a recent reviews. They were asking people what do they think about these issues, and they found out that more than half of Slovak people think that sexual violence is actually okay under some circumstances, which I think that's actually the problem. So I was really happy that I was able to point out this. And also there is a topic about psychiatric hospitals, which also opened in the society, and then I was in communication with some psychiatric doctors, and we were trying to handle that.
So they look really bad in the movie. So are they really like that, like you filmed it?
Yeah, well, we were filming in the biggest Slovak mental hospital, so it looks like that. We were just filming there where it happens. But, main problem of the Slovak psychiatry system is not the buildings, is the system. It's not even the doctors. But the thing is that there is not so much money going into this, hospitals. So of course, who is actually suffering are the patients, but that's a politic discussion. That's something about Ministry of Healthcare and everything, and Slovak psychiatrists are trying to open this discussion with them that they need more money to actually provide pretty good care, but nobody really listens to them.
But it's also, like I perceived it, about trust. It's not only the medical care, but it's also that nobody believes them, and also the family, the parents, and the doctors. So the film is also about trust and mistrust.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. Yeah, it's very much about trust, and I think this is not only Slovak topic. It's mostly everywhere because really, even when they were doing the European surveys, they found out that the most probably, if you're raped by a person who you know, and in an environment where you feel safe. So, people have this, crazy myths in their minds that rape is only happening in the dark parks, and you have to have a small short skirt and be drunk, and that's where you get raped, and that's happening very rarely actually. So of course, when people think this, then victims of rape cannot, or they don't feel okay to just talking about that in front of their families and people. Most probably when the preparators are somebody what their families know, or so it's very hard, and I think the only way out is to open discussion before it happens, just to talk about it within the families, within the schools, within the institutions, so people who actually going through that would feel free to talk.
Is that also probably why you chose to tell the story through the coming of age journey? Was it easier for you in this way to show people that it's
Yeah, well, the first thing is that I'm pretty young, so I don't feel, to tell the story about the old woman which going through this, because I don't really understand that well. But I understand what's going on when you're 17, because I've been 17. And a lot of my friends went through that in this very critical age, because it's even harder when you're not an adult, you're not a child, and you don't know what to do, because you're still trying to figure out the world around you and your own sexuality. And when in this crazy time you're going through something like rape, it really affects you for whole your life, and it's really hard to get out of it.
Just to come back to the detention homes, when you look at the film, sometimes it feels like parts of it are like in a documentary. It's very researched. And how did you proceed to do that? You told me that you have friends that were there as well, but also for your actors, how did you work with them?
Well, what I did is that I mixed the actors and with the real kids, or people what I found in orphan houses and mental institutions, and institutions where they take care of kids. And so I was like going around these places for 3 months to pick the kids for the film, and then I mixed them together with the actors. And also the way of directing the scenes was very based on improvisation, because they know these sort of situations and they know what is going on there. So I was just trying to set them free and feel like this is really happening. And then I had the real actors within them, which knew where the situation should go, and they were sort of like leading it somewhere. So it was actually really great shooting time with these kids, because it was so, lively. And also for me and my scriptwriter, it was some kind of like last checkup if what we are talking about is really true. And they told me so many stories, which when we were filming some scenes, they were like, oh, this happened to my friend, this happened to me, this is how it goes. And so we were also building on that.
You worked on the film for a very long time, for 4 years. You said so it was your first film and also your graduation movie. So I suppose it was really difficult for you to get the fundings in the beginning, and also with a subject like this, which is not so easy to sell, probably. So how did you do that? How did you get the money?
It was sort of hard. I went for my master's for a fiction film direction in FAMU University in Prague, and that was pretty good that they helped me for this like a first kick. So I was shooting the first 10 days with the help of my school, but we didn't really have money to pay people who were working on the film and actors. And then we applied for Film Fund, and well, we got it, so in the end. So without that, the movie wouldn't really exist. But it was also hard to get it because the film commission who is actually deciding about money, mostly older men who didn't really find the topic interesting and important. And it was just...
Why not?
I don't know why not. How can I know? I don't know. They told me why don't I do why I wouldn't do a movie about nice first sex with like these shy young people, and I was like, because I wanted to do a movie about this. So it was really hard discussion. But then we got some money from Czech Film Fund, and then Slovak Film Fund sort of followed, and by the finishing of the movie, we still missed some money. So that's where HBO and Slovak National Television stepped into.